Evening at the Movies is a proud member of the I Did Not Make These Rankings podcast network. Other shows in the network include Mass Debaters, The Sip List, Crushgasm, Love is Black, Men Are the Prize, Crime Rewind, and Literature Reapers. You can find out all about our shows and more at idnmtrpodcastnetwork.com. Happy listening. You are now entering the world of a movie review. A world full of drama, joy, ridicule, movie spoilers, unpopular opinions, and adult humor for as far as the eye can see. Welcome to An Evening at the Movies.
Greetings and salutations, everybody. This is An Evening at the Movies, everybody's favorite movie-based podcast where we eat the stale popcorn, we drink the watered-down sodas, and we discuss all of our favorite movies and why we love them. So, welcome back to the fact that everybody's favorite co-host is back with us. So, say hi, co-host.
Hi, co-host. What's
up? It feels like it's been a while, but it hasn't been that while. So, but we are here because today is a very special day. Well, today is not a special day. Wednesday is a special day.
It's Earth Day.
Yeah, it's a special day. Go hug a tree today.
But at the same time, because at least one of us is old and has to do things prematurely, we're going to pre-record a very special episode of An Evening at the Movies. So we're going to celebrate the birthday on Wednesday of everybody's favorite cookies and cream teammate. Also, she is the host of the amazing podcast Crushgasm, as well as a whole bunch of other stuff. But welcome back to the show, Kendra.
Hello, thank you for having me.
You say it's your birthday. It's my birthday too, yeah.
Also, Kelly Clarkson. She's my birthday twin.
Nice.
How did my stalkerish personality not know that?
I'm glad it's your birthday. Happy birthday, Kendra. Okay, I'm done.
So, I guess then you could say a little fun fact then, because today is evidently Kendra and Kelly Clarkson's birthday. Also, one of us also shares a birthday with country music icon Garth Brooks as well.
Well, there you go.
February 7th.
I share a birthday with Walt Disney.
Well, there you go. All icons.
Yeah.
Well, then on that note, Hakuna Matata.
Exactly.
So we are going to celebrate the wonderment that is Kendra on her 25th birthday, because she's so much younger than the rest of us old fuckers.
Hey, speak for yourself.
Especially me. Well, especially me and Harvey. So,
did you get your AARP card in the mail yet? Just curious.
I mean, Harvey should be getting his before I get mine, but
their magazines are pretty good. I like their magazine. My in-laws get it, and I'm always like, "Oh, it's nice, good articles."
Y'all got to start getting ready for those Furs early bird dinners. So,
you're funny. So
if you're not eating dinner at 4:00, there's something wrong with you. Oh, and you also have to start calling it supper.
I know. That is such a weird thing.
Lunch is dinner and dinner is supper. Or is it the other way around? Is lunch supper and dinner is dinner? I don't know. I get confused.
We say it. Well, my in-laws say supper for dinner.
Okay. Do they say dinner for lunch?
No, they don't use dinner. They just say lunch. Fun.
Well, that's freaking weird.
So many words.
So, I do regret to inform the whole entire world that we're going to try something a little bit different this episode, because technology sucks ass, and yeah. But we do have some birthday messages for the birthday girl today.
Aw.
And, we're going to start off with I'm going to play them because there was technology issues, so we're going to play them through the microphone. But we do have a bunch of people that would like to wish you a happy birthday, though. So,
I mean, of course.
well, no, we're not going to start with that one. We're going to start with somebody else first. We will start off with.
Hello, Kendra. Happy birthday to one of the wildest mouths I've ever heard in my life. Hope it's going very, very well. From me to you, happy birthday.
Okay, so I don't know how well that came through because
I heard it pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then we will move along then to birthday message number 2.
Wishing you a happy birthday today. Hope it's fantastic.
All right.
Fantastic.
And we have another one for you from everybody's favorite crime psycho.
Hi, Kendra. It's me, Shanna, aka The Banana. I just wanted to leave you a message and wish you the happiest of 21st birthdays. I hope you live it up. I hope you have as much fun as you can possibly handle and make lots of memories. I love you.
Oh.
Aw.
Oh, she's all nice and sweet and stuff.
When she needs to be.
Yeah.
We all know Shanna. We all love Shanna.
Cut a bitch.
Yep.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day. And then last but not least.
So I think it was a little over a year ago that I believe it was DeAndre who was like, "Oh, have you heard?"
7 years ago.
Yeah, and the host Kendra, she's really cool. Man. You should listen to the podcast and then see I can hook you up. Maybe you can get on there. So I'm like, yeah, let me listen in. And I'm like, I like this. This is fun. And I like this idea. So the idea of going over crushes and talking about all that stuff, that's a great idea. I like that idea. Who knew that it would take 15 years for me to actually get on the show? Obviously there's this long line of people who want to get on there. And it's because of the host. It's because of Kendra. Happy birthday, Kendra. It has been a pleasure to do this podcast, to do our drafts, to do your podcast. Only once, of course, because, I'm still on that waiting list for the second appearance. But in case there's any time where, when you're as old as I am, sometimes I forget just how old I am. And if nothing else, I can depend on Kendra to remind me just how old I am. Everybody needs somebody like that in their life. Yes, I'm pulling up on 50, but in case I forget, one of my best friends, Kendra, will let me know. I hope this episode of Evening at the Movies is as fun as you make every draft. Enjoy, have a blast, and I'll see you one of these Tuesdays. By the way, this is your friend Harvey, host of Man of the Price podcast, but that's not important. Happy birthday, Kendra. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Too cute.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Definitely not
More than my
warm.
family does for me.
Oh.
They don't remember.
Middle child syndrome.
Mm-hmm. Very much that. My dad blocked me on his phone.
What?
He's in his 80s, so he presses
Oh.
buttons, doesn't know. But I was like, I keep calling and it just goes straight to voicemail. And my brother's like, I call and it's fine. So I was like, tell him that, to call me. And then he's like, oh, I had you blocked, girl. And then I was like, okay, fix it. And then today I went to call and I'm blocked again. So middle child.
Yep. Kendra, who?
I know. But he has 15 kids. I'm not even the middle of his. I'm the middle of my mom's.
Damn.
Oh, yeah. These are the ones we know of. There's probably a lot more. He said how many years? Probably several years ago, so late 70s, early 80s. Whenever he said, "I can get any girl, any woman I want." That's how confident my dad is.
I mean, being in his elder years, you gotta appreciate the confidence, I guess.
He is, and I mean, he looks probably late 60s now, so he
Okay.
still looks good.
That reminds me, this is random, but in the movie Enough, where Jennifer Lopez goes to meet her birth dad, and he's like, half the people in that room could be my kid.
Yeah, I
It's not
mean,
going
honestly.
joke. Pearl,
Oh.
who's just a cattail sticking up in the air in case you're.
Well, hello, Pearl.
Pearl had a bad weekend, so she's recovering. We had friends over, and they have cats, and sorry about the noise. She never shies away from strangers, so I think it must have been that she smelled the cats. She hid the entire time. All right, can you get your asshole out of my face?
I mean, better in yours than it is in mine.
She said, "Hold on,
So,
she'll be back."
aren't you all? Well, hello. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Pearl will be back.
Okay. Can't hear you.
Yay! Normally it's me that nobody can hear.
No. Oh, it's just gotta go in, come out.
So while Amanda gets done with her technological issues, because technology sucks, like we said, established earlier, we're going to be adhering to the An Evening at the Movies tradition this week, and we're going to have a special birthday requested episode from the birthday girl herself. And hopefully, my co host now can understand the words that are coming out of my mouth.
We can't hear you.
So, anyway, back to introducing the movie while Amanda works on her technological issues. But we're going to be, well, with all that, Kendra, would you like to introduce the movie that we're going to be discussing this week?
Yeah, it's 2012's The Perks of Being a Wallflower. Yeah, great movie. Saw it 4 times in theaters for no reason other than I just loved it. I wasn't a fan of the book when it came out. I just happened to, because of a casting decision in the movie, I really liked one of the actresses at the time. So I was like, oh, she's going to be in this. Let me read the book. Love the book and was very excited for the movie. It's one of those instances. It's not like the book at all, but I think the book and the movie are as great. I think they're both equally as good, the book and the movie. But yeah, Perks Being a Wallflower. If you want to be sad.
Literally, I mean, we'll get to that, but can you hear us now?
She could hear us. We can't hear her.
Why can't we hear you then?
Go out and maybe test the audio when you come back in and see if it's to a different thing. Sometimes my
See, this is all Pearl's fault because you were not having issues before Pearl got up on
sabotage. Pearl sabotage.
Pearl did not want you to talk about the Perks about being a wallflower.
Oh,
can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm using the computer audio at this point. I don't know what she did, but my microphone just stopped working. All the settings were right. It just
Hmm.
I don't know. Anyway, sorry.
So while you were gone, Kendra introduced the movie that we're going to be discussing. Do you know what we're discussing today?
Um, Debbie Does Dallas Part 2.
I mean,
No, I know we are discussing the perks of being a wallflower.
if we were discussing anything Debbie Does Dallas, Dre would probably be here, but
Yeah, I don't think you get Debbie by being a wallflower. So
No.
no. So for those of you that don't know, um, Perks of Being a Wallflower, released on September 20th, 2012. September 21st, 2012. Oh my God, I haven't done this in freaking forever. Was directed by Steven.
We're gonna go Chopsky.
Yeah, based on his book. I'm not trying to do the whole last name thing. I can do my last name. I can do Kendra's last name, and possibly, if I'm not drunk, Amanda's last name. But
yeah, mine can get confusing.
it was released by Summit Entertainment. Had a budget of $13 million. Had a box office of $33.3 million. And can be found available to stream on Paramount/Showtime. You have to add the /Showtime because
Yeah.
if you don't have the Showtime add-on, then you don't get the. It's not on the Paramount.
When
So
I tell you the time I had trying to watch this, because I have Paramount Plus, but I don't have the Showtime thing. But it says you can watch it on Prime if you have Paramount Plus. But you can't. You have to get Paramount Plus through Prime to watch it. And I was like,
Um,
I'm already paying for Paramount Plus. Anyway, I did the free trial. I'm just gonna cancel it.
I have a DVD. Bought the DVD the day it came out. Me and my roommate, this is our shared favorite thing. And we ran to Target when she got home from work that day. We got the DVDs together. Now it's like probably $5 in a bin somewhere, but we got it like full.
well, you can rent it on any multitude of streaming services for $3.99.
Mm-mm. I
I
like
thought it
physical
was.
media. Mhm.
Yeah.
But as always, would you fine young ladies like to take a guess at what you think the Rotten Tomato score for the movie is?
Ooh. I'll go with 87.
I was gonna go around 83, 85.
Well,
We'll say
you don't get.
83.
Well, you're both off by 2%.
So it's 85? Or oh nice.
85%.
Right in the middle.
Nice. Is that the
85%.
audience meter or the tomato meter?
That's the tomato meter. The audience meter is actually at 89% on 100,000 plus ratings.
Oh.
Sounds
So
good.
it doesn't get a bad score, which, as we all know, because of our saying in the I Did Not Make These Rankings podcast network, fuck Rotten Tomatoes. But
Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes gets it wrong more often than not. So, as always, co-host, would you like to inform the listeners what the plot of the movie is all about?
I would like to. Okay. Socially awkward teen Charlie is a wallflower, always watching life from the sidelines until two charismatic students become his mentors. Free spirited Sam and her stepbrother Patrick help Charlie discover the joys of friendship, first love, music, and more, and a teacher sparks his dreams of becoming a writer. However, as his new friends prepare to leave for college, Charlie's inner sadness and PTSD threaten to shatter his newfound confidence.
Yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up in a nutshell without totally giving everything away.
Yeah.
So, we'll just rip the band-aid off and we'll take the first question to the birthday girl herself. What exactly about the movie grabbed your attention, Kendra?
Well, like I said, I loved Mae Whitman because of she's on Parenthood. So when I heard she was cast in this, I was like, oh, okay, well, what is this about? I'm not a fiction reader at all. I like memoirs or I like kids' books that are like illustrated. I don't like fiction books at all. I just don't have the time for that unless it's Babysitter's Club or Goosebumps.
Wow.
So I did get the book. I bought it on Amazon, and it was the quickest read because it is a young adult book, so it's pretty easy. So I read it pretty fast for me, a couple of days. And then I was like obsessed with it. And I was really excited for the movie. But the movie grabbed me. The book was like, I feel like every character was represented. The movie is very much about Charlie's story as a whole. And not going into too much detail, but I had a situation like Charlie. So I immediately gravitated towards him as a character with his whole aunt thing and everything. So I think that kind of the movie doesn't go into it too much. The book definitely dives into that more, but as much as they could show, I did like that aspect of the movie. But I like the nerd, the awkward kid. The music in this is phenomenal, and the story as a whole, and it's coming of age, and it's a perfectly done of the genre, and that's my favorite genre. So yeah.
Well, I mean, it is based in the 90s, if I am correct, which happens to be Kendra's favorite decade of the entire history of the world.
Because it's our best decade as a species. It just is.
We peaked.
Yep.
I'm already going downhill since.
I mean, I won't disagree with that at all, but co-host, was there something that gravitated you to the awesomeness that was this movie?
I mean, I too love Mae Whitman. I have loved her since Hope Floats.
That's my mom. She's my mom. Ask her about Hope Floats. She'll be like, that little girl should have won an Oscar. Yeah. She should have won. She'll go on for 10 minutes about
when she's crying with the dad. I every single time.
Run.
Oh, God, okay. Stop. Yeah, she deserved an Oscar for that shit. That wasn't an Oscar-worthy movie per se, but that performance. Hope Floats got me through a really hard time in my life, so it holds a special place in my heart. But I realize it's not for everyone. So good. Anyway, I think, like Kendra said, I like, the coming of age stories. I had not read the book before I saw the movie, so I kind of went into it just like, oh, this could be cute. And it was a lot deeper than I thought it would be. And yeah, the whole, which I'm sure we'll get to, the whole aunt thing, it was like a blink and you miss it. So I'm glad that the book went into it more, but it was still, of all the stuff that was leading up with that I wasn't expecting. So I would say, I was like, okay, this had a pretty good twist too, because I didn't see that coming. But yeah, I love stories about the Wallflower guys who learn about their own confidence and, come of age or whatever and fall in love. And, I dreamed that he kind of like Gordy and Stand By Me, that he went on to become an amazing writer and all that.
Well, I think it's like loosely Stephen's story. So he did. This is his book.
Yeah,
He's a writer. I went to the first time I saw it. It was in North Hollywood at this little like indie theater, and he was there doing a panel about it. So
nice.
We went to that. Yeah. So you're a super fan.
Yep. Well, I mean, we've had the discussion numerous times on an evening, and I tend to gravitate a lot towards coming of age stories like Stand By Me. I honestly had not watched Perks of Being a Wallflower until Kendra recommended it or requested it. So, but it did not take long for me to fall in love with the movie, even if one of the stars of the movie is a weird psycho.
My husband asked, like, does it take away from the movie now? And I'm like, no, because they are probably the best character outside of Charlie. And if you read the book, Patrick has so much more. Like, oh, it's so good. That's a book I highly suggest. So good.
Wait, what am I missing about Patrick?
Patrick, there's so much more to him being like he's with the football player. There's way more to that, and like discovering his sexuality. And there's this like park he mentions in the movie that's like a lot of part of the book, and it's just really good. They expand the characters more in the. There's a whole part with the sister that is taken out of the movie. But, yeah.
Why is he a psycho though? Like in real life?
Oh, Ezra Miller, yeah, like
That's
all that
Ezra
stuff that happened.
Oh, I don't really know about that, I guess.
Yeah, that's a whole thing. But I think separate the art from the artist, and
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the whole. We do that in the network as well, art
Yeah.
over artist. But definitely,
unless the artist goes too far.
Yeah.
but I mean, at the same time though, Ezra Miller did a really good job in the movie, and I saw his name pop up on the credits, and I'm like, oh hell, I'm gonna be coming into this a little bit biased, but then at the same time, it's like it's really not that bad of a performance. So
Okay, I'll have to look into that after we're done because I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, you know.
it a whole bunch of stuff that came out right about the same time as he got cast to play the Flash.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure if you want to instant message Dre will have a whole long list of shit. Dre could probably tell you the whole story.
Now I'll just figure it out on my own. I'll just Google it.
Well, I mean, Google works too, but no. Amanda and I even had this brief conversation this morning while she was watching it, though. But this movie has an amazing fucking soundtrack. Like one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie is like that "Come On Eileen" dance scene.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's so cute.
Mm-hmm.
And when they're playing "Low" by Cracker while he's eating that brownie, and it's like being stoned, and then he's like, stoned.
That
Oh, sorry.
no, go ahead.
I was just saying, I feel like when I watched this, even though obviously it's not directed by Cameron Crowe, it had a very Cameron Crowe feel to it. Like it had a almost famous kind of feel to it, almost.
Yeah. I feel like they wanted to step back. I like the music too. I mean, I know it's set in the 90s and you can kind of tell it's 90s by some of the clothing, but it felt like it was kind of timeless in a pre-internet era. Like it could be like maybe 80s, 90s, maybe even early 2000s cuz I mean, putting Bowie in there is like that's not like 90s, but I feel like but it does speak to I think that Cameron Crowe has that kind of timeless effervescence.
Well, and I think that's what helps make it resonate with a multitude of, a vast audience where, people like Harvey and myself who are old as dirt can relate to it because it doesn't necessarily have to be rooted in the 90s or the 21st century or, a lot of the same stuff can be happening in the 80s or the 70s or, whatever.
Well,
I think that's what a good
thing too.
Yeah.
So,
But I think that's what a good coming of age is because that's why I like it because at that age you're all feeling if rich or poor, black or white, you're all feeling the same bullshit of high school and adolescence. So I think that's what makes coming of age so universal in love. Like you could love it, I could love it because
Exactly.
who hasn't felt like shit on the first day of school,
Yeah.
I never felt like shit on the first day of school. No, I take it back.
I mean, nervous. Like,
but you probably had like 12 people in your graduating class. So.
Yeah, I mean, you have like one fast food place. They're like, you want to go to the Wendy's after prom?
Yeah.
That's all y'all had.
Technically,
the
after
Walmart.
our prom, we did not go to Wendy's after prom because we did not have Wendy's at that point. We only had like one McDonald's and two Dairy Queens and a Burger King.
Two Dairy Queens. Huh? Okay.
Barely had Taco Bell. So, was there anything about the movie that you both felt like was definitely have a feeling I know what's going to get brought up with this question, but definitely was a turnoff or was a hard moment to experience while watching the movie.
I mean, you go, Kendra.
Rewatching now, it kind of like at the beginning of the movie when he first meets them and everything, it is like this movie was huge on Tumblr. It was such a Tumblr era movie, the quotes, the angst, everything. So rewatching it like a little older, I was like, oh, this is like a little too hot. It's what I don't like about Riverdale, what I don't like about Wednesday is the dialogue. Just at the start of the movie, when it first starts and he first meets Sam and Patrick, I was like, this didn't age well. But as it went on, I still felt the same way at the end. I still loved it towards the end, but the beginning was a little like, girl, what are we watching here? This is like, you're too old for this. It's just a little too, even though I was emo, it was a little too emo at the beginning. I was very much an emo kid.
Nice. Well, I think that you have to watch stuff so you have to watch it through that lens. Because when I watched Riverdale with Abby, I would have loved Riverdale in high school. Now I'm like, oh my god, this is it. But if you watch it through that lens, then I think it helps a little bit. But
Riverdale was good up until Chad Michael Murray. Oh man,
up until it wasn't.
Luke Perry was I had to stop him.
That was hard. The episode after
that was about the point that Amanda quit watching Riverdale was.
I quit before that, but I tuned in to see how they said goodbye to Luke Perry's character, and then I never went back.
I think I watched more because I watched with Abby till they graduated, and then the next season it came back and they had jumped forward 4 years, and I was like, okay, I don't know if I like this anymore. It was weird.
But I'd say the dialogue at the beginning was a little hard to watch now, but at the end, I think I still loved it as much as I did in 2012.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's anything, I guess, that really turned me off about the movie as far as that kind of stuff. Obviously, there's a couple of hard topics, if that's what you're getting at. But as far as I mean, to me, it just felt like, a dramedy of the same kind of teen movies that we've always watched. So obviously, I think this was a little bit better than some of the other ones. But like I said, I'm watching it through that lens. So I'm just kind of like, okay. I mean, Mary Elizabeth and her crazy obsessive, that to me was just amazing. She's like, I can't believe you're my boyfriend. And he's like,
he's like, oh no. And when she's on the phone just talking and he's like downstairs, not even with the phone.
It's like, I need to use the phone.
Just break up with her. I can do that.
So George has never seen this movie. And I was watching it today, rewatching it. And he came in to eat lunch at the part where they're playing Truth or Dare.
Oh.
He's like, kiss the hottest girl in the room, and he doesn't kiss his girlfriend. And George is like, whoa, awkward.
Oh, Charlie. What did I do wrong? You know what you did wrong.
I mean, literally, all he had to do was turn the other direction and kiss the girl on the other side, not the one, not Hermione.
Shoot your shot, though.
Yeah, I mean,
he said, "I won't be at this girl."
Wrong place, wrong time, but yeah.
I think another hard thing is all the F words, those are slurs. I know it was of the time, but that is, even if it's something that I'm watching from that was actually made in the 80s or 90s, I'm like, oh god, can we edit? I just hate that word so much.
I do too.
That I'm like, and I get why it was used. But that's actually my favorite scene in the movie is the fight between him and the secret boyfriend, because I love Emma when she runs, because I've always wanted to be pulled back from a fight. I've always wanted someone to grab me and me dangle.
Did you want a big football guy to shove you down on the ground?
I mean, that's how big I was. No, they didn't I would have fought back, but I just wanted that whole. I just want to flail.
Hold me back.
Yeah, but I would never be in a fight or probably ever defend anyone. I'd be like, oh my god.
Okay, when we take our network trip, I promise to take you to a bar and hold you back from kicking somebody's ass. We'll let Shanna start it, and then you go to run in, and I promise I'll hold you back.
Okay, thank you. bucket
And I
list
won't throw you to
item.
the ground.
Okay. Yay.
Yeah,
I feel like this is not going to go well.
We're all
the
good.
slurs were hard, and especially that they had the gay character use it talking about himself. I thought was like, yeah, this definitely was made a long time ago. It's
I mean, 12 years.
I was only 12 years old. I thought it was older
Yeah,
than
it's 2012.
Oh,
But my
well,
husband was like, "Oh wait," seeing Ezra Miller. He's like, "I guess this isn't as old as I thought it was." I was like, "Yeah, it's not that old."
Okay.
And also, shout out to an amazing. I think the casting for this was amazing, and then to rewatch it, seeing little Ruth from Ozark in it
Yes.
with like rarely no lines, just like she's there. And another guy that was in it, he played Bob, like that ditzy friend who like Bubbles, freaking Fuller House. I was like, what? He's
Yeah.
Kimmy Gibbler's brother. So this is an all-star cast, except for the girl who stole pants, Alice. I don't really know where she went.
Yeah, George goes, "Is that Ruth from Ozark?" I was like, "Yeah."
Like, oh,
I'm surprised you didn't notice Paul Rudd.
Well, yeah,
of course.
Paul
That's like
Rudd,
an unforgettable character.
I would have stayed after class and tried to be his teacher's aide.
Mm-hmm. He
Oh,
needs
dear
to get
Lord.
mentioned more, and when they do like teacher lists and educator, like fictional educators, he's not included a lot, but he should be.
Yeah, I agree.
He doesn't have a lot to do in this movie, but yet he has a significant. He has
delivers
a huge
the
impact
line.
Yeah, well, no, he does.
We deserve, yep.
But yeah, he definitely probably has one of the biggest impacts in the entire movie. So,
So
definitely. So, like I said, I had not seen the movie coming into this. So, when you get to the final 15-ish minutes of the movie, that kind of came out of nowhere and kind of sort of slapped me in the face.
yeah. Excuse me.
But I mean, in a lot of ways, it helps create and make everything make more sense, I guess, in a weird sort of twisted way. But I mean, it kind of sort of also felt like, damn, we're literally coming off of the whole quiet on the set stuff, and now you have that reveal at the end of the movie as well. It's like, yeah, whatever. But
I have a hard time imagining Melanie Klumsky doing anything bad. So I was like, no, she did not.
That was a weird casting because she's well. What was that show? The Last of Us. She plays a pretty ruthless woman in that one.
Okay. I haven't watched it all the way through.
It's fine.
But yeah, I was like, she's a sweet aunt, and how the whole movie, he's like, she was my favorite person in the whole world. And watching it again, I feel like, okay, we should have probably seen that coming. But the first time I saw it, I definitely did not see that coming. But, it's the cycle of trauma and the cycle of abuse. And she just couldn't, not excusing it in any, that's not what I meant, but just, you could see how it happened. But damn.
I don't know. And that's kind of sort of where I was getting, like, I didn't see it coming going through the first time, but then you stop and look back and it's like, oh, I guess point A, point B, point C, and now you put it all together. It's like, I should have seen that coming a mile away. So
honestly, I don't know if it's that like in your face, except for the only line that makes you think she did anything bad is like when he tells his sister, like, what if I wanted her to die?
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, she was diddling.
Yeah.
It was P. Diddlin.
Yeah. Yeah, that's when it hit me too, because it was like, he feels guilty because she came to give him a present and then she got killed. So he's like, but then you realize he's blaming himself, but then he's also like, well, what if I wanted her to die?
Yeah, for what she's
doing. Ugh. Yeah, that killed me. And then he just hangs up the phone.
Yeah.
Much. Like, your sister's at college. She can't just come rescue you.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, evidently, you know, if the shoe fits. But so as a whole, though, if you were to look at the whole movie for what it is, stop, start to finish, good things, bad things, all of that wrapped up into one big, beautiful pile of wonderment. What are your thoughts as a whole on the movie?
You go first, Kendra. But
I guess
let me say one thing real quick. Sorry. I just thought of something that I didn't like.
go for it.
Who the fuck in high school can afford to buy another guy a suit?
Well, they had really nice homes. That's
They
like another,
did.
like they talk about Alice being rich, but like Sam and Patrick lived in a really, when they leave that Christmas party, I'm like, this is like Home Alone family housing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they are well off, all of them. And his dad just gives them $50 to go buy a
No.
secret. No.
I'm like, his Secret Santa gifts add up to being a suit? Are you fucking kidding me? But okay.
Mhm.
Anyway, go ahead, Kendra. I have to think of one thing I don't like. Not that I don't like it, but I was like, come on.
Also,
I mean,
not
I wish somebody
having
give
some.
me $50 for a Secret Santa gift.
Well, even more because he bought everybody something, but he gave Mary Elizabeth 40 to do her magazine. So they're like, how
Yeah.
much money? I don't know. And one thing I didn't like is they really play down the his relationship with his sister. It's so much bigger in the book. She ends up like Ponytail Derek gets her pregnant. There's a whole abortion storyline in the book that I know cut for time and it's not her story, but I wish the brother sister element could have been played up a little bit more. But I understand it's more about the friendship, so they had to pick a lane. So
Yeah.
telling you, read the book, so good. I'd say again, perfect casting, perfect soundtrack, perfect aesthetically. It's just a really pleasing video or movie. Relatable characters. It's just a relatable story if you grew up kind of on the outskirts of the cool kids. And just I think what I liked most at the end of it, I was like, oh, it just reminds you of like when you find your little tribe growing up and your little pack of weirdos and just like knowing, oh, like even though we've grown up and stuff, when you get back together with that one little tribe, it's always the same. And that's how it is with me and my friends from high school, even though we're all in different walks of life now. At the end of the day, shout out to my middle school friends. We were a Fat Kids Club, and you get us together, and we're still, even if like you're bigger or smaller, it doesn't matter. You'll always be. Our group chat is Fat Kids Club, so always gonna be. So it just reminded me of that. It's such a nostalgic watch.
That's awesome.
Co-host.
Were you wanting Kendra to give her rating now, or is that what you were asking for?
Well, we can either way.
Sorry, I'm choking on my own
Or,
spit here.
or we can come back to it.
I mean, yeah, I kind of echo everything Kendra said. It's nostalgic. I really like how the story is narrated by Charlie, and you know, I kind of wish we would have gotten to learn more about his best friend that killed himself. Like, he just blurts that out when he's high, and then it's like never spoken of again. But this kid's been through some shit, and you know, I like it. I really like the little kind of like monologue at the end where he's like, you know, we're all gonna someday this will just be stories and pictures and we'll look back on it. But it's like right now it's happening right now and we can just enjoy it. And that's cool because in high school you're always like looking for the next thing to happen. You know, when am I going to get a license? When am I going to be a senior? When am I going to go to college? And it's like you don't stop to enjoy like the stuff that's happening.
Because, like, yeah, it's like high school sucks in so many ways, but at the same time, if I could go back now knowing what I know, I think I would love it just because there's no real responsibilities.
Yeah.
You're just like, I just have to do homework. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all. A math test? Okay. Big whoop. That's not paying taxes.
Right?
Yeah, I 100% will agree with Kendra on that one because it's like I miss for I know it's going to sound stupid. I miss doing the homework. I miss football practice. I miss wrestling practice. I miss drama and all of that other stuff that I did in high school. And it's like to go back and get to experience all of that again and not have to worry about taxes and going to work 40 hours a week and all that freaking bull crap
Also,
that
your
being
friends
an
are
adult.
always there. You
Yeah.
have a
Yeah.
designated 5 days a week that you're gonna be, like, social, and I think maybe because it's, like, a millennial and probably, like, Gen X and older, we didn't have the internet, so
Right.
we were very social with our friends in, like, real life, so maybe that's another reason this movie resonates so much with an older generation because we remember what it's like to have to go to school to see our friends.
I mean, we were passing notes and answering the phone, not knowing who was calling us, like the wild fucking West out there.
Also, I don't know if this relates to it, but did you hear that theory of why probably millennials and Gen X are a little more depressed than ever nowadays? It's because we don't have a third place. Like our parents would go to a bar or they would like on Friends, they always go to Central Perk and on
Yeah.
Cheers, they're always going to Cheers. But us, we go to the internet and that's not an actual meeting ground. So it's like bottling us up that we have home, work, and then this vast like space and that's depressing. So we need to work on our third space. Shout out to whoever TikTok maker did that. But I was like, that's a very interesting theory.
Yeah.
And I
it
think
is.
as a kid, we had home and school, but then we also, like Casey said, we had practices, we had clubs. As an
Yeah.
adult, it's very hard to find that extracurricular that matters and makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
Wow.
because my time was always occupied. I mean, I didn't have, I guess, like a bad high school experience. I mean, I had, awkward or uncomfortable things that happened or whatever, but for the most part, I enjoyed it. My senior year, if I could relive my senior year, I totally would. It was like one of the best years of my life. So I guess I'm lucky in that way. But yeah, I mean, it was like, yeah, even outside of school, we didn't have cell phones or whatever, but it's like, okay, we're gonna see you at the game and we're gonna be, cheering. So we're all gonna be in the same section and we're gonna be hanging out, or, we're doing a student council thing, or we're doing, whatever. It's just there were always places to hang out with your friends and socialize where everybody wasn't on a cell phone.
Yeah, I think that's what the movie reminds you. They go to the diner, they go to
Yeah.
the games, they have Rocky Horror, they go to they go to house parties. I don't even know if kids do that nowadays. Do they party? I don't know.
No clue. I don't think so.
What's that? Twitch. They're on Twitch, just streaming
Yeah.
a party.
So dumb.
Yeah. I was gonna say that would be my next idea. Was do they Zoom a house party?
They're like, woo.
That makes me sad.
It does. The internet's brought us so much greatness, but at the same time has taken us down so much as
Yeah.
a society.
I
Ugh.
agree.
But will I go buy something on Amazon right now because I have a gift card? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I will.
I agree.
Trying to decide what more books I won't read. Yeah, sure. I have so many books.
At the end of the day, I put the perks of being a wallflower in my shopping cart for Thursday, since Thursday
There
payday.
you go.
Mhm.
So only because I'm actually very curious to see, because I enjoyed the movie experience, but the way like Kendra's talking up the book, I'm really curious to see just how much deeper the book
Yeah.
dives into all the other stuff that goes along with the story.
All my friends who like the movie have also read the book, and we all agree it's just it's like you don't need one or the other. You could like the movie, never read the book, or just read the book, never need the movie. But if you're gonna enjoy both, I think.
Yeah.
Just as much.
So
Well,
I would
maybe
definitely be.
if I get through Frankenstein.
Oh, that sounds like a really long book.
It's actually not that long.
No?
It's just it's old literature. It's classic literature, and it's a lot harder to read than. And it's not to say that I don't like it, but I can't. I have to not have distractions. Like a lot of times,
Oh,
I'll read while George is watching sports, and the extra noise doesn't bother me. I can't do that with this. It's got to be quiet. I have to be able to focus because the words are
always.
so different, and the way things are worded. Sometimes I have to go. I mean, in high school, I read a lot of classic literature because I had to, but I haven't really done that in a long time. So not to say I'm not enjoying it, because I am now once I got past the very beginning, but it's not an easy thing to just, zoom through.
Yeah, I read that book in 12th grade,
Yeah.
but it was one of those where I could take it and go into my room and read in peace and quiet. Where nowadays, yeah, you've got your cell phone, you've got other
Yeah.
things going off all
Yeah.
over the place. It's so easily distracted.
Yeah, I have to put my phone away because I found that was
Honestly,
distracting for me a lot.
only in the bathroom am I like really focused where all my reading gets done. 'Cause, like there's nothing else there. You don't want to touch your phone, so I
Yeah.
usually just keep my book in there, and that's where I get most of my reading done nowadays.
Wait, so you'll take a book in there, but not your phone?
Yeah, because I'll just put it on the shelf. I have to carry my phone all the time, so
Yeah. Well, I'll go ahead and give my rating of the movie because we just talked about everything pretty much. I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5 Wallflowers. I liked it a lot. It's not like groundbreaking material, but there's not really anything bad to say about it either. It's an enjoyable, emotional movie. I like it.
They're not reinventing the wheel.
No, but it's relatable, and that's something we can all use, I think.
Mm-hmm. Did you have a rating you would like to share, Kendra?
I would agree it's a 4.5 just because like some of the language for me doesn't age too. Some of the dialogue's a little like girl being extra right now. Like, come on. But I will say, you mentioned the last like monologue. That's one of my favorites because one of my favorite kind of life lessons is when you turn 17, you forget what it's like to be 16. And I think that's why a lot of kids think like, oh, parents don't understand. It's like, no, it's like you forget, like I was that. And I think that's why I relate a lot to like the little kids around me because like I didn't forget what it's like to be a 5-year-old and like in a new space. Like you always like, I think adults need that lesson a lot more in their life. Like remember what it was like. It's not easy. You didn't get through it easily. Let's not lie to ourselves. Like being 16, 17, it's hard. It is hard. Not hard and you don't pay taxes though. But mentally it's hard.
Well, and I have to remind Georgia that all the time. I'm like, you're a guy, obviously, so it's different than a teenage girl, but at the same time, you have to remember what it was like to be in middle school, in high school, and you also have to factor in, like, as a parent, we're not dealing with the same shit kids are dealing with, like internet and cyberbullying and all of that. I mean, I being a kid was hard, but I think being a kid now is so much harder, and it's hard for us to understand because I'm so glad that pictures and Facebook and all that shit digitally didn't exist when I was in high school. I'd be hiding out somewhere like the Unabomber.
Depressed. Like even more depressed. If like the whole, especially like I remember in high school, my friend, we have 2 middle schools that form into one high school. So you have different cliques meeting. So you have like, oh, their honors kids are now with ours. So my friends started to make new friends. I'm not one of those people that have a lot of friends. I have 5 friends, and they have different friends. I'm not straying from this group. So like just the idea of like seeing them like out on Friday with this friend or that, I would have been like even more depressed, like seeing it and not just knowing it's happening. Because I was watching Reba on Friday nights, not partying with them. But yeah, I couldn't even imagine social media as a kid. I would have hated it.
Yeah, I had that problem too because we had like a group of our spirit squad. There was 5 or 6 of us, and you always think because you've known one person longer or you've talked to them, like you think, oh, that's my best friend, and then they're out with somebody else from the group, and you didn't even get told about it, and it's like, wait, what? If I had to see pictures on Instagram of it, I might cut a bitch.
Yeah, like it is. It's one of the most heartbreaking things to be like, oh, what did you guys do Friday? Oh, you guys were hanging out. Let's go. That's cool. I remember one time they were like, oh yeah, because when they got their licenses, they were like, oh yeah, we went out and driving, and then we were all there, and I'm like, no, we weren't.
Were we all there? Yes, we all are.
But it's interesting because like I talked about the Fat Kids Club. We did it because the skinny girls always got invited out by boys, and we're like, well, we not getting that. So we were like on Fridays, we're going to go to each other's houses and just eat and watch TV. And that was our club meetings. And my friend, one of my skinny friends recently told me, she's like, it really hurt that like I wasn't included all them years ago. And I was like, oh, that's crazy because it's like Romeo and Michelle. You were making us feel like crap, but didn't know we were making you feel like crap. We're all making someone feel like shit growing up.
Everyone is the villain in someone's story. I will die on that hill and stand by that statement. As much as we hate it, and I know that I have been. So it's like I hate it, but that's just life. That's how it is.
The girl who made my life hell in high school, she actually apologized a few months ago, and I was like crying because I was like, I never thought she knew like how much she hurt me. So people change.
See, I apologized to someone that I was kind of. It's really weird because I am a nice person, but for some reason she was the weakest one of the pack, and so it was easy for the rest of us to kind of like, not like on it. Why am I excusing myself? Okay, we were kind of bullies, not terrible, but I was like, man, because she was my friend, so I was like, if I ever made your life harder, if I was mean to you, I know that I probably was sometimes. I'm really sorry. And she never responded, and I have to live with that but that's her, that's her right. If I really did hurt her, she just doesn't care enough to, and maybe I didn't hurt her and she doesn't even think about me, but it's like, all you can do is try to make amends for things you've done, but that doesn't mean you're always going to get the forgiveness back. So we got real deep over here, Casey.
Perks will do that.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, in some way, shape, or form, I guess what we're all getting at is going through that period of our life. We're all, in some way, shape, or form, our own wallflowers.
Yeah.
So, and like Amanda said, we're all the villain in somebody's, the villain thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Everyone is a villain in someone else's story, whether you mean to be or not. That's just
like Charlie will be the villain one day in Mary Elizabeth's story, but
But I love when she's like, I'm going out with so and so now. And I know this has to hurt you, and he's like,
that was her real life boyfriend at the time. He's a singer songwriter that I was obsessed with. Landon Pig. He was so cute.
Oh yes, I know who that is. I know some of his. Oh, he has a song I really love, and I can't remember the name of it now.
I can't remember the music anymore. It's been a while, but I was like, oh.
That was her trying to save face, which we all did in high school. So that really.
I hate telling LA stories, but we go to these like there was a comic book shop called Atomic Comics in there, but they did like little comedy shows in the back, and like we went one time and she was there. Did you ever watch the show Parenthood?
Yeah.
She was there with the guy who played her brother. Mae Whitman was there with her brother, and me and my roommate loved Parenthood. So I was like, "Oh my god!" She was like, "I'm too awkward, not going to go talk to her." But I was like, "Hey, like, oh, Perks, I'm so excited to see you in it." And she said it was her TV brother's favorite book, and he was so excited for her to be in the movie. It was so cute. I think he was more excited than she was.
That's pretty cool. Oh, okay. Sorry, I had to look up the song. The Way It Ends. That's the song of his that it was on Grey's Anatomy, and that's actually how I found out about him. That's a really good song.
Which, speaking of Grey's, Kate Walsh as the mother, Addison.
Yep. I know, Addison. And my lover Dylan McDermott was the dad.
Oh my god, he's so good in this. I love when he's cruising for a bruise.
He sounds like my dad. That's something my dad would say.
These goddamn hockey pucks. It's not the goddamn puck.
You should have a goddamn biscuit. I love how they all pray and they do the. He's like, it's a goddamn. Oh, that goddamn penguins! I was like, okay. Sweet.
I think that's like pinnacle parenting of that era.
I'm definitely gonna third everybody else's opinions and go with a 4 out of 5 or 4.5 out of 5. Hockey pucks. just because, you know.
You mean
No,
this?
I'm gonna go 4
Yeah.
4.5 out of 5 mixtapes.
Nice. I'm gonna go 4.5 out of 5 hits of LSD.
Because that would be interesting enough as it is.
The mixtapes were cute.
So, 100% though, if everybody's listening and haven't seen this movie, we highly recommend you go pick it up and watch it. Buy the DVD, buy the book, rent it online.
It
Get
is
a
some
show.
choice. If you have the means, I highly recommend picking one up.
It is so choice. Okay, now I just dated myself by using that word, but it is what it
That's what
is.
I just said. We're not dating ourselves. We just watch Ferris Bueller a lot. Dre hates, but he's not here, so
I'm
know how
not.
you hate that
I'm not.
movie, but okay.
you hate it too?
No, I said I don't know how you hate that
Oh,
movie.
okay. I was like, me either. It's like what you wish you could do if you had been in high school. Like, I ditched one day my entire high school career, and we didn't even do shit that fun.
I was perfect attendance from like 5th to 12th grade. So when we had a concert that we had to leave after lunch my senior year, they were like, you either leave after lunch or you don't go to the concert. We're not waiting around because of traffic. And I was like, to get perfect attendance. I was like devastated. I was like, oh my
Was
God.
that your first Garth Brooks concert that you went to, Kendra?
No, it was probably my millionth Newfound Glory concert. So did I need to go? No, but I went.
I spent my senior ditch day at the zoo. Ooh, wild. Stop the presses.
I mean,
Do we have a ditch day?
we had one, but we all went to freaking McDonald's because that's all we have in this town.
they're like, let's just go back to school. There's nothing else to do here.
Well,
We had one.
there was a lot of times that when I was in school, we would skip school and we'd go across the street to Smoker's Corner and hang out, even if you didn't smoke, just because it is what it is. But so
we sometimes left like between so student council was a class, so it was an hour. So like if we're like, oh, we have to go pick up something for some event we're planning, we'd go do that real quick, and then we'd like go to Brahms and get breakfast. Or like when we had Spirit Squad, that was also an hour, and it was our last hour class. We called classes hours. I don't know if that's what other people do, but like, instead of period, it wasn't third period, it was like third hour, whatever. It was our last hour of the day, so sometimes we'd leave early, or we would just go like hang out somewhere else, like, except for when we had to do stuff. That was like the easiest hour ever. But I don't call that ditching. It was just like cutting out early or eating an extra breakfast.
it helps having teachers that send you out on running errands so that they don't have to go and do it themselves.
If you student council label, you automatically have a circle of trust. It's amazing how much trust used to dole out back in the day.
I'm like, I don't want to deal with it.
I don't feel like kids to get that much trust nowadays.
No.
I have one kid in my class. I'll give her like if a kid needs to get back in the building, I'm like, hey, go take my key and put him in, like hit the thing, and she'll run it back to me. Only one though, because she's 5 going on like 70. She's a little old lady.
So she's a future Tracy Flick, is what you're saying.
She's gonna have a lot. She has a perfection complex. Like if she gets something wrong, she's like wells up tears, and I'm like really worried for her future for that reason.
Baby.
I'm like, girl, it's like it's you colored something the wrong color. Like it's not the end of the world.
Some people are just that. I mean, some people are very high strung. I always have been I'm very OCD. Anyway, take us home, Casey.
So this was definitely a lot of fun, and definitely thank you, Kendra, for recommending the movie.
Mhm.
So,
Of course.
would you like to share all the information about all of your wealth of podcastual stuff so that the listeners
Uh,
can find you?
yes,
Podcast film, trademark
podcast.
2024.
That's like a sexual orientation. I'm a
Should be.
podcast. Um, I'm the host of Crushgasm, like Casey said, and you can find everything at crushgasmpodcast.com. A little break right now as we end the school year, but I'll be back. I hit up some people to come on. I might do an homage to the 2000s or the 80s. We'll see which one comes first.
80,
Because
80.
1980, you gotta understand, decades aren't like 80 to 89 because you got overflow. Like 90s really start for me 92, 93 because
Yeah.
the early 90s feels very 80s. Look at those movies, they are insane. They are insanely 80s. But crushgasmpodcast.com, you can go to kendrawrightstuff.com if you like lists about things like celebrities who look alike, or which one, fictional homes that we all dream about living in, things like that. And yeah, that's about it. And if you like food shows, food show fanatics, we're kind of like hit or miss with episodes right now, but we'll be back, I think, tonight. Maybe we'll record one. We'll see. This spring baking championship has not been interesting. It's been
Oh, that
so
sucks.
No.
yeah. I'm excited for food truck race.
Food truck race is
I
the
love food truck race.
portion of Food Show Fanatics that got me into listening every week too.
Next year we'll do Tournament of Champions because we have never. I actually hadn't watched that until this season. It was kind of like because they give so much attention to Guy Fieri. It's hard to like watch
No, they
everything he
do.
does.
Yeah.
That's my husband's boyfriend, but we finally checked it out this
Oh,
season.
okay.
So, we have a Guy Fieri like one of those things like the oven mitt in the kitchen. He has shirts.
Oh.
I have a pin. We have the 2 cookbooks. Like it's a lot.
I like
Damn.
watching he cooks with his son, like outside, like they're grilling stuff. Or I can't remember what the show was called, but I thought that was cute. Him cooking with his son.
I always tell my husband
Guy's
that
big
guy
ranch.
can't cook. He can't burn. He can only host, and he gets really mad. Shh, he's in the back. Hush up. He can't cook. But yes, thank you for having me for my birthday to talk about one of my favorite movies.
Yay.
Absolutely, we are honored to have you, and we look forward to you being back again next year. But I'm sure you'll be back before then. But
I'll bring a sadder movie.
Yeah, no sadder.
Co-
movies.
I don't think I like
co-host,
anything sadder than this.
Okay, so Kendra just reminded me of one of my favorite episodes of How I Met Your Mother. So I had to say this real quick. When you were talking about like the overlap with the decades, and they get their hands on the Robin Sparkles video, and Marshall's like, "This is the '90s. Why does it look like 1986?" And she's like, "The '80s didn't come to Canada until like 1993."
Honestly, my nephew, when they moved to Arkansas, my brother moved to Arkansas in the early 90s. So we're talking to my nephew in like maybe the 2000s when he was probably 12 or so. And he was like, "Have you heard this new song?" And me and my brother are like, "What?" And he's like, "Getting jiggy with it." And we're like, "What the is it new to you?" I was like, "What? Okay. Just got there to Arkansas. That's cool."
Or like in Euro Trip when they're in Bratislava, and the guy's like, "Miami Vice, #1 new show. Where's the beef?" And it's like 1997. Anyway,
what's coming up for you, co-host?
I honestly don't know.
Shocking.
I know. I've been on a brief like I got a lot of stuff going on, you guys. I'm trying to build a house. And we haven't even broken ground yet, and it's so complicated, and it might fall through, and I've been stressed. So Shanna and I, and probably Ashley, will soon be doing our top 5 favorite songs from the Tortured Poets department. So if you're a Swiftie or a fan of Taylor Swift, definitely stay tuned for that. 31 songs is going to be hard to pick 5. I have also suggested to Casey, and hopefully we will be doing this very soon on our evening at the movies. We need to cover Dead Poets Society so that we can cash in on all the tortured poets department. That if for people listening or even you guys, if you have not watched the video for Fortnite, it's her song with Post Malone. She has Josh Charles and Ethan Hawke, both from Dead Poets Society, in the video, and I was so freaking excited. So those two are trending. So let's talk some Dead Poets Society. I'm excited.
So
but yeah, the Simplest is flying by the seat of its pants. So just check it out.
and I was actually going to address the Dead Poet Society thing. So 1 week from tonight, not Kendra's birthday 1 week later, but 1 week from this Monday night. So April 29th, I think is what the date is.
Yes.
Mark it on the calendar. We will, myself, Amanda, and Shanna be going live to discuss Dead Poet Society.
Captain.
And I guess Tay will be making her debut on An Evening at the Movies as well. So,
we'll just briefly mention it. We'll need like 20 or 30 minutes. You won't even know we're there.
First of all, I have recorded with both of you before, and I know that is bullshit, hot garbage statement. But we're going to have fun. We're going to have a great episode. It'll be the first time in quite a long time that all three Reapers are actually legitimately on an episode of Literature Reapers or An Evening at the Movies together.
True.
So, and also starting next week for the entire month of May, we will be looking at superhero movies. So, original Deadpool, Batman 1990, the original Superman, X-Men First Class, and I'm still waiting for somebody, Papa Palpatine, to pick his damn birthday movie as well, because he's got that option coming up at the end of the month for him as well. And also, CJ has a birthday coming up in May as well, and he has picked Meteor Man. So there's all of that as well.
You guys have fun with that.
You don't want to discuss Meteor Man?
No. But I will.
Come on.
CJ wants me to. I will. That just means I have to watch it again. And I think I swore on like 5 Bibles that I would never do that.
I swore on 5 Bibles that I would never rewatch Rubber again, but evidently that's coming up in October on An Evening at the Movies.
I'm telling you, get drunk, get high, makes it so much more enjoyable.
I'm probably going to try that experience.
I'm going to watch it with a gummy.
You were drunk the last time. You need to be drunk and high this time.
Yeah.
So
happy birthday, Kendra!
Yay, definitely. Happy birthday, teammate. And that was definitely a fun episode. And I'm going to turn the microphone over to the co-hostess so she can hopefully remember the line. And we will see you guys all next week. Co-host, the mic is yours.
All right. Again, happy birthday, Kendra. We love you. Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening. And hope you all come back for An Evening at the Movies. Goodbye.
Peace.